Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Monica. And today I have a huge fall book haul. It's been a while since I've made a video here on YouTube, but I'm excited to start getting into creating content again. And this time I'm going to be dipping my toes into the booktube side of things. I have 20 books to unbox with you guys, and I am so excited. I have been waiting a couple of weeks until everything got here, and the last box came today. I started reading again at the end of 2022, and it has slowly just become a really fun hobby for me. I would always read on my phone or my Kindle just because my OCD made it really hard for me to read physical books. But recently I've discovered that I have overcome that challenge. So I decided, why not start working on my physical library? As I said, I have 20 books here. Target was having a buy two, get one for free sale, and a lot of their books were already priced lower than really anywhere else. I got some really great deals, so let's go ahead and unbox them, shall we? See, this is why you don't send books in a little mailer. It came super damaged. I'm going to have to return this. Why would they do that? But anyways, I got the book Scythe. I believe this is a YA kind of like dystopian science fiction fantasy book. That's what I'm kind of gathering. There's no disease, there's no war, there's no death in this world. And so the only way to kind of do population control is with professional assassins called Scythes. The story follows Citra and Rowan, who are chosen to be apprentices underneath a Scythe. And as they're learning how to become professional killers and learning more about the world around them, I believe at the end of their apprenticeship, it's kind of seeming like the Hunger Games, where only one is going to be able to make it or survive. So I'm excited to read this, but definitely bummed about the damaged book. Hopefully I have some better luck with the rest of the books in here. Okay, again, just like these were not packaged well. There's a page completely bent in here. I'm definitely going to have to be doing some returns because I'm not very impressed with this. But I also got the Spellshop by Sarah Beth Durst. This was an anticipated read for me for especially this month, October. I have never read a book like this before. This is just kind of a cozy fantasy book. It follows Keela, and she is a librarian, and her library goes up into flames, and she steals a bunch of, I believe, illegal spell books and kind of runs away and starts a new life where she opens up her own little spell shop. I think the book just really follows her new life and her encounters with other magical creatures. I'm definitely excited to delve into my first cozy book. Next book is Better Than the Movies. I don't really gravitate towards just purely romance books. I'm definitely more of a thriller fantasy girl. If it has a little bit of romance in it, fine, but I'm not really drawn to just purely romance books. But I decided that I would pick this one up. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I think it's just going to be a wholesome book. So it follows a girl named Liz who recruits her next door neighbor Wes to help her get noticed by her childhood crush. But along the way, I think she just kind of starts to realize that she is starting to fall for Wes instead. But yeah, it just sounds like a cute little book, and I thought that I would give it a try. Next book is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. Basically, there are 5 students in a high school who are all in detention. There is one person who does not make it out of detention, and he had planned on revealing a lot of secrets about these students, and clearly someone did not want those secrets to get out. I love a good thriller that keeps you guessing until the very end, and I hope that this is just a good time. Oh, it came massively damaged. Do you see that? I am so disappointed. Oh my goodness. Honestly unacceptable. They need to do a much better job packing their books. If you guys have not heard of Red Rising yet, it's basically it's like Hunger Games in space, something like that. A science fiction fantasy, I am assuming. I'll just read the blurb on the back. It says, his wife taken, his people enslaved, driven by a longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. Have heard amazing things about this series, so I'm definitely excited to get into this. I think that this might be more of a November read. Oh, you guys. Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. I think I will definitely be reading this in December. I actually started the audiobook while I was puzzling the other day, but I feel like I actually want to read it physically instead. I heard that this is just a heartbreaking book, and I feel like I want to read just some sad books. I don't think I've ever really cried while reading a book, maybe come close to tearing up a little bit, but I feel like this one, hearing what everyone says, I feel like this one is going to make me sob. And I feel like December would be the perfect time to read this. This is just a historical fiction about World War II. And it tells the story of two sisters separated by years and experience, and each one of them are just kind of embarking on their own journeys. Definitely can't wait to read this. And the last book in this box is Divine Rivals. Again, I've heard wonderful things about this book, especially the first one of the duology. This is by Rebecca Ross. Let's see. Where is the little blurb? Divine Rivals is an epic enemies to lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. So it is an enemies to lovers romance fantasy. I think if I don't get to this book in October, I think this one will be a really good read for November. This box seems to have a lot of my thriller mystery books. This one, of course, came bent, but it is The Couple Next Door by Cherie Lapina. I was really looking for a thriller book that just has crazy, like, psychological twists and everything in it. I have been a little let down with the thriller books that I have read recently. I just want one that throws me off my feet, that I just have absolutely no idea who the killer is, and I really hope that this book does it for me. I'd love to read this in October. Another book that I would love to read in October is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Agatha Christie is the OG thriller author. Okay, so basically it says 10 strangers are lured to an isolated island mansion off the Devon coast by mysterious U.N. Owen. At dinner, a recorded message accuses each of them in turn of having a guilty secret, and by the end of the night, one of the guests is dead. Stranded by a violent storm and haunted by a nursery rhyme counting down one by one, they begin to die. Who among them is the killer, and will any of them survive? You know what I just realized? I'm pretty sure I watched this movie, And Then There Were None. Wait, that sounds so familiar. And I'm going to be very upset if I actually did watch that movie already, because now I know who did it. The next book that I got is Stephen King's Billy Summers. I have heard great things about this book, and I'm very excited to read it. I think it follows like an ex-assassin, or he has like one more job to do before he leaves the profession for good, but basically everything goes wrong. I got Recursion by Blake Crouch. I have recently read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and that was such a good book. It was one of the first books that the feeling that I got after reading it just stuck with me for a very long time. And normally books don't do that. Normally I forget everything about a book. Even if I like a book, I forget everything about it immediately afterwards for some reason. I was really proud of myself too for being able to read a science fiction book with a lot of hard language in it, and I was able to kind of wrap my head around it. I feel like this might be similar to that. It says, at first it looks like a disease, an epidemic that spreads through known means, driving its victims mad with memories of a life they never lived. You guys, I got Shady Hollow, a murder mystery by Juno Black. It is literally a murder mystery, but all of the characters are woodland animals, and that just screams the coziest October read. I know I was saying that I don't normally just pick out and read romance books, but I did get The 7-Year Slip. I heard a lot of great things about this. I think it has like a little bit of a twist on just a classic romance book. I think it has a little bit of like magical realism in it as well. So I feel like it might give me fantasy vibes a little bit. It reminds me of the movie Lake House with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, I believe. I didn't really like that movie, but I hope that I like this book. The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I've read 2 of his books. I read Final Girls, and I also read The House Across the Lake. Hot take, I did not really like The House Across the Lake because I felt like the reveal was a bit of a cop-out, not gonna lie. Hopefully I can get to this month as well. This book came a little damaged, so I'm gonna see if I can exchange that. I've heard Haley Pham talk about this book, The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, and she said that this is one of her most favorite thrillers. I am very excited. I hope that it just leaves me like, what did I just read? I want all of the twists, all of the turns, and I want to just be floored. So I hope this book gives me that. Oh, and look, on the back it literally says, full of twists and turns, another unputdownable thriller. Perfect, just what I was looking for. I picked up Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. It is a literary fiction, and it says, can love make a broken person whole? Hello Beautiful is a profoundly moving portrait of what is possible when we choose to love someone, not in spite of who they are, but because of it. Wow, I love that. The last book in this box, which again came damaged, is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this book or not. I've heard mixed reviews on this, and I wasn't really sure about it anyways when I got it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to give it a try or not. I might. We'll see. Definitely going to have to exchange it regardless. But yeah, this is just like a romance fantasy. Yeah. How far would you go for Happily Ever After? I don't know. How far will we go? All right, down to the last box. I have been waiting for this book for so long. At first, I had it on my Christmas wish list, but then the sale at Target happened and I couldn't help myself. I needed to get it. It is Stephen King's 11/22/63. I have heard nothing but good things about this book. It is a honker. And if I get through this, then this is going to legitimately be the biggest book I have ever read. This is definitely one of my most anticipated reads. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it this month just because I have a lot of other more spooky books that I am wanting to read in October, but I think this might be a really good November book. I mean, 11/22/63. It's meant to be read in November anyways. The next book is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is a historical fantasy book. I really don't know too much about it, to be honest, but I'm excited to get into it. For Robin, Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, but knowledge obeys power, and as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, he realizes serving Babel means betraying his motherland. When Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide. Can powerful institutions be changed from within, or does revolution always require violence? Wow, that sounds very interesting. Again, this seems more like a either November or December read. If I am going to be reading Stephen King's book in November, this might be more of a December read. It's The Lovely War by Julie Berry. I am very interested to read this book. I first heard about this book from Ashlyn here on YouTube, and she really recommends this book. It's basically a historical fiction / fantasy. I know that there's Greek gods and goddesses in this. It basically says, in the perilous days of World Wars I and II, the gods held the fates and the hearts of 4 mortals in their hands. It says that this story is filled with hope and heartbreak, prejudice and passion, and reveals that though war is a formidable force, it's no match for the transcendent power of love. The last book that I picked out was The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I'm sure you guys have all heard of this. It is just a classic YA book.
I got the facts wrong about this book and just wanted to clarify, but this is a historical fiction book about World War II, and it is actually narrated by death itself.
All right, you guys, so this is my 20-book fall haul, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm so excited to add all of these to my physical library. Let me put these down real quick. I'll definitely be making videos of me reading some of these books. If any of these books are also on your TBR and you want to see me read them, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. I'm so excited to be back here on YouTube and also very excited to be joining the booktube community. Thank you for having me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!